Welcome to Reflector Reflections, the podcast exploring the unique and fascinating world of human design through the lens of being a reflector. I'm Annie Richardson, a 5/1 reflector and passionate mentor navigating this journey alongside you. This podcast is a space to connect, share and celebrate the stories and wisdom of reflectors and human design enthusiasts alike. Join me as we dive into authentic conversations, uncovering how we embrace and experiment with our designs and the beauty and challenges of living as nine-centered beings. Whether you're a reflector, loved one, or simply curious about human design, this is your space to learn, grow, and feel seen. Welcome. Hello, beautiful humans. Just wanted to check in and say hello and let you know, give you an update. So, Christmas and New Year, I don't know about you in the world. Actually, I do know about you in the world, but here in Australia, it kind of shuts down a lot. It's summer, school holidays, so it's a big, between 6 to sometimes 9 weeks, depending on school, where life becomes, if you're a parent, it becomes very much about the kids. And so, a lot of us do take time off and a lot of us don't. So we've got to navigate work as well as, the jobs that we do or the services that we provide, as well as parenting. So, and as a reflector, not to label myself there, but it can be, a more challenging time. So a lot of people are like, well, it's summer holidays, you should be having fun and doing all these things. Yes, there is fun, but there's also added pressure to, not have that inconsistency. So, I'm finding myself coming back into this space of going, oh gosh, where are we? What day is it? And that's just the way it is every year. And I think the more cycles I do in this process, the more I kind of understand that. And even feeling that pressure, I can kind of grab onto it in a moment and just go, you know what this is. Do you know how this feels? And it's safe and it's okay to let it go. So these are the beautiful journeys that I do, one as a part of my work, but also through this experience of coming into 6 years of human design. So I wanted to give you a little update. We are running the Lunar Cycle tracking. Now, the Lunar Cycle tracking came about because I'd been asked so many times, Annie, please tell me how to track my lunar cycle. Please tell me how to do that. I'm a very practical being. I'm a 5/1. I don't know how to teach people without giving you a literal tactile experience in 2 ways of making it a very practical way, because the headiness through my lived experience doesn't work. Surprise! And it's a true fact about, well, I can just speak for myself in my own 5th line experience. If I haven't walked the walk and I talk the talk without walking the walk, it backfires. And so it has taken me some time to really feel that I've laid a solid foundation on this to go, I think regardless of where anybody's at in their process, that this would benefit them. And so that's when I thought, okay, it's time. It's time for me to also, if you've listened to me on the podcast recently, talk about the fact that I need to also get messy, because there's a part of my process that always feels or has felt that if I don't have a solid foundation, I cannot proceed. And that is paralyzing, absolutely paralyzing, because nothing gets done because it's not perfect, right? It's not perfect. So being comfortable to meet myself in the mess of just going, I think it's okay. It's a pretty good foundation. It could improve, but it's okay. And being really honest and open with the people who are journeying with me about going, hey, this is a work in progress and this is what we do, has been so beneficial. So we are doing round 2, and it actually doesn't start until, the tracking doesn't start until the 18th, but we start next week, which is my 13th on the 12th, the others. And the reason that I'm starting it a little earlier is because I want you to have a little bit more of that solid foundation. And so last cohort, when I did this, I did it as 2 separate workshops. So I did one as a really embodying your design and played with that. And I realized that that's a really important piece in this. And so that's why we're starting a little bit earlier. So, you know, and I've also I've learnt through the others who've been with me, and I think it's been a beautiful experience to just trial it out, you know, third line it a little bit and just go, how can we improve this without making it too overwhelming? Or if it was a little bit overwhelming in some regards, how can we make this so it's more nurturing and supportive? So these are the lessons that we do, and I'm sharing this with you vulnerably because it's the way it is, and I've literally nothing to hide. I've been in this space publicly for 3.5 years, so people have watched me grow as well. I'm not just somebody who's coming in here going, oh well, sod it, you know, I've done this weekend course, I know all about reflectors. Oh no, I have been living this experience myself, and it's not for everybody, my lived experience. We all have to do it our own way. And that is a part of why I wanted to bring this, to go, how are the ways that you're going to do this? Here are ways that you can look at this. Here are ways that you can track. Here are ways that you can start tapping into your cycle, your patterns, who you are. And that's what this is about. It is about you taking some time to start to appreciate your journey as a reflector, or your journey through the lunar cycles, in ways that others can, but maybe you can't, or you can and others can't. It's a way for you to explore you with this structure in a way, but it's not structure. So the way that we do this over the period of time is you have a workbook, you have all of the gates, you have the workbook and the journal that you work through. And you are being supported by myself and by the cohort that you're traversing with. This is a way for you to actually understand how this cycle works, or how the mandala works, as well as start to look at ways of your body graph, your design, and how it shows up every day, every week, every month, and how your patterns and how your cycles work. So it's you applying this practicality, or this applied lived experience to your life. And weaving in this cohort, I have decided to use a little bit more of my professional background as a counselor, somatic therapist, and everything else I do. But, you know, I'm registered in this space of a lot of trauma and things like that. And I want to bring that into this space a little bit more to get you to experience these shifts and experience how you are traversing through a lot of human design, a lot of whatever it is. Sometimes when we get into these spaces, we can feel quite overwhelmed, in my experience with people. And it's very much like, well, do this. But that doesn't work for everybody. And what they've brought, or what trauma, and not even just trauma, but their lived experience, they cannot meet themselves. There's a stuckness. And how do they traverse that stuckness? How do they actually get to know their body? How do they actually get to know this experience? A lot of people don't know how to do that because they've been really shut down a lot of their lives, or they've been so conditioned. I know conditioning, deconditioning gets thrown around, but it's very true. When we're raised and we're in these environments, that is our go-to. And even if we think, I know that I need to do this, or I feel that I need to do this, doing that is very difficult because it's not comfortable. So these are ways that I can help support the reflector community in this space of going, right, they say to you, track your lunar cycle. They say to you, do this. Yes, that's what I'm inviting you to do. But how can we do that in a really slow, supportive way? And you can't just do, I'm sorry, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, you cannot just do one cycle and go, I've got it. It will take you multiple cycles. And this also sets you up to have this process to be able to come in and out, weave in and out, be inconsistent. It's okay. I get it. It may take you a year. It may take you 6 months, whatever it does. There's no time limit on this. It's about you just feeling into it. So if this is something that feels nurturing for you, or it feels like something you want to do, please come on in. I haven't, and I don't, because I'm just not that kind of person. I don't sit there and market all of the things that I do. But I do know that this is the last time that I'll be running this for the foreseeable, or for the next at least 4 to 5 months personally, just because I've got the Human Design Conference here in Australia coming up. I've got a lot on my plate, and I know that I could do it again, but I can't gift to you my weekly, like dedication to that, because I'm going to be distracted by other things. And as somebody who works in this space, my commitment to these processes is very important. So maybe there's a way that I can allow this to run as a self-run process. I don't know. It's still nice to do it together. It's still nice to journey and have those calls with other people, which we benefited. Oh, here's a word that's not coming out, in December. So I'm looking forward to doing that again in January. And we've got already some amazing humans that are coming in just because they needed that extra time. And it might be something that it goes on and becomes a green course. So in other words, just something that you do for yourself without my intervention or anybody else's intervention. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, I guess, of where we're up to and what we're doing, and why it means something to me, and why I put it out there is because it's very valuable to be able to explore who you are. There's so much, online. It's so overwhelming. It's so much like, I don't get this reflector shit. And even when you do, you're always learning. I am still learning. I'm absolutely still learning, and there's some amazing, small, simple things that I'm relearning that I'm like, this is incredible. And I just feel like I'm a sharer, there's that collective energy about me that just goes, what I learn, I want to share, and I want to give that to you because I want to help you become a little bit more in your body, in your essence and who you are, without you feeling that you're not enough because, oh my gosh, well, this reflector's doing this or this person's doing that. It's just like, no, this is your experience. This is absolutely your experience and your life and your journey. And no one of us is ever the same. And if I can help you uncover those layers and step into a little bit more depth about who you are, then I'm fucking here for it. I'm here for it, and I will support you any way I can. So I look forward to talking and seeing with you soon, sitting with you soon, seeing with you soon. Thoughts. And sending you love. Always sending you lots of love. And please reach out if you ever need a friend, because I'm here. Mwah. Big hug.